All right, so the next fight was Jessica Andrade versus Rose Namajunas. Always been a big Rose fan. She always brings it. She's a very smart fighter, very calculated. She listens, she stays composed, and there was no exceptions to this fight. She did exactly that. It was a rematch, so there's always interesting variables when you have a rematch. You know what I mean? Especially when you're down one, you want to come back, you want to win. Especially what was on the line the first time, and now there's not a championship on the line, but you still want to get that win back. So I had Rose doing really well in the first round. She was finding a home for her punches, unanswered. Very good jab, very good striking. Jessica couldn't avoid them. I mean, I think the speed, the timing was perfect. She was moving well. She wasn't rushing anything. She was very composed. She was very relaxed. Jessica Andrade, you could tell, was getting frustrated and trying to find a way to counter and come through, but Rose just wasn't giving her any options. And Rose, I think, clearly dominated round one, outstriking Jessica. Round number two, pretty much along the same lines. Again, just continuing to find a home for those punches. Very good speed. Jessica tried to pick it up a little bit, get a little bit more aggressive in this round, but I think she missed the majority of that. And Rose took round two clearly. I don't think there's anyone that would dispute that. So rounds 1 and 2 for Rose. Interesting to note, in between the rounds of round 2 and round 3, Jessica's corner was heard saying to her that she won both rounds. And I think I think it was bad, but I disagree with that. Even if it was 1-1, I don't think you should ever. I don't think you should ever tell your fighter they're ahead, except in very rare situations, for very rare specific reasons that would be strategically important to the rest of the fight. In this situation, I don't think it was good. I don't think you should tell a losing fighter who's down 2 rounds, she's up 2 rounds. I don't see an upside to that. Fighters typically don't fight harder if they think they won the fight, especially in a 3-round fight. If you think you won 2 rounds, usually that means you have to be finished in order to lose. And you don't want that mindset going in. You pretty much always want your fighter to be fighting to win, to finish, and to be fighting as if every round is depending on the outcome of the fight. On the other hand, you have Whitman and Barry and Rose's corner, who I thought gave excellent advice, and they were telling her to keep the pressure, keep the punches, and doing exactly what she was doing. And it was great advice, but it was what she was already doing, because obviously they had already told her to do that, and she just continued to do it. So I think that was the key to victory for her. Going into the 3rd round, the same Rose, composed, relaxed, finding a home for her punches, landing well, using her speed. Jessica did get a good takedown off a good punch. Rose was hurt a little bit, but back up fast. And, then it kind of played out. She reversed quickly and it got back to the feet. And, I don't think it was that significant. It was that made the fight, or that round, close. I could still almost give that round to Rose, even though the takedown, but I can totally understand her losing that round. I don't agree with a split decision. I don't agree with a judge saying, one of the judges saying Rose lost that entire fight. That I can't wrap my head around. So the result of the fight was Rose won via split decision. I don't agree with that. I think she won unanimously. I think at a worst case scenario for Rose, she lost the 3rd round and won 1 and 2. And even in losing the 3rd round, it would have been a technical loss, not like the tide was turning and she was starting to get beat and she was getting hurt. And, if it was a 4 or 5 round fight, she could have lost. It was more of a technical loss at best if she did lose that 3rd round. And that's my opinion on that. But a very impressive fight. Both girls fought hard. You can tell they both had a lot to gain and prove. And I think Rose had the most because she needed that win, considering it was a rematch, and she did it. So I'm happy for her, and I look forward to seeing her again.